In the summertime we'll often find hyenas spending time in these small little pans, helps them keep cool, sometimes in complete mud, usually water, and they're often fully submerged, the heads up. And these three, that's exactly what they've done now. We followed them to this little pan system so they can get a drink, they can have a little cool down as the sun's starting to climb. It's 6:30, but the temperatures are already soaring. This is kind of the equivalent of getting a pie and a coffee after a big night out, because this is when they're going to start sleeping for the day. They're moving off into the thickets. We're going to carry on looking for the Tsalala female, but no further track so far, so I suspect she might have just went down into the Sand River and be lying up in some thickets there. Come to this beautiful lookout point overlooking the Manyeleti River, just to see if there's any sign of Tsalala pride down in the sands below, because they spend quite a bit of time up and down this riverbed. And you always hope to get lucky and that they'll be lying right here in the open. But nothing this morning. Had a brief encounter with a herd of elephants back there. They were quite curious about Yusi sitting on the tracker seat. But now that it's getting very warm and those lions will be full bellied, I think they're going to be fast asleep anyway, even if we do find them. So we are going to move on, see what else is out there. Shame we've come across these two little impala lambs that are all by themselves. I mean, they're a week old or so. I mean, this is obviously the time when all the lambs are being born. No mother here, so almost certainly they've been separated from their mothers because they only have one lamb each, and probably by a predator. Mad dogs, hyenas, those are the two most likely culprits. We saw in a video the other day how hyenas will sometimes run in to herds to try and spook the lambs. They isolate one and just run it down. Well, these two, obviously, if something did come along with the lucky ones, they escaped, but now without their mothers, not a high chance of survival, sadly. So hopefully the adults are somewhere close by. It is quite thick, so we can't see very far, but generally you won't find the lambs this distance from them at this stage of their lives. In a couple of months they form creches and they can wander off a little bit, but shame, I don't hold much hope for these two for the moment. Okay, this morning we're sitting with the Flatrock male and Shinzele female. They've been mating. This is quite exciting because the Shinzele female is a young female leopard, so this is one of the first times that she's been seen interacting with a male like this. And it's exciting. It doesn't necessarily mean she's going to fall pregnant, but having a new female with the potential for cubs around is a very cool thing. We've been seeing her more and more in the northern parts of the reserve. So the leopards at the moment, they're weaving through fairly thick area, so it's tough to get a good view, but we'll stick with them, and I think if they keep going this way I'll come out into some clearings. Let's see. Behind us is the Sand River, and it looks like the leopards are heading that way. If they do keep on this trajectory, they're going to come out of these thickets and go right across these clearings. There's a big section of clearings running east to west across the face of the river with the camp behind us that they're going to have to cross. So I think if we're lucky, we're going to get a beautiful view of them in the open just now, so fingers crossed. And you can tell the Shinzele female, she's a little bit unsure of herself, and that's because she's way out of her territory. So this is the dilemma for female leopards. They will leave their territories to mate with the neighboring males to make sure that all the males in the area are invested in the paternity of the cubs. So in a couple of months, if there are cubs born, the males that mated with the female will think that they're theirs, and they'll hopefully then, and the cubs will therefore come to no harm, because the biggest danger for young leopard cubs is male leopards that aren't the father. So that's one of the strategies. Females will leave their territories just to make sure that they've mated with all the neighboring males, and that way it just boosts the cubs' chances of survival significantly. So where we are now, this is right on the cusp of the territory between the Piccadilly and the Hlanguleni females. This is way out of the Shinzele female's normal patrol routes. So yeah, she's treaded cautiously. She's investing in potential cubs by being with the flat rock male, but if any of the females catch her here, she'll be in trouble. Okay, so we've taken quite a big gamble. We've come down into the river ahead of where the leopards are moving. We can't see them at the moment. The other vehicles are with them, but they're coming in this direction, and we're hoping that they're going to end up on these beautiful... What is that? I think it was a monitor lizard. On these beautiful boulders in front of us. So, big gamble. Chances are they won't, but if they do, it'll be an amazing view. Okay, that was pretty spectacular. We could not have worked out better. I was hoping they'd go up on the high rocks, but instead they just came right past the vehicle. I mean, the flat rock male was 2 meters away there. That was magnificent. So now they've gone into the dense river thickets where it's literally impossible to follow. So we're only about 100 meters from Vati camp. I imagine at some point during the day we'll be hearing these leopards mating from deck. Pretty special to be a guest here right now if that's the noise that's accompanying your lunch. Right now we're going to try to get out the river. So no more to be seen from the leopards. Let's go back up the hill. There were some young lilac-breasted rollers being fed by their parents. Let's see if they're still in the dead tree. Two adults and then chicks are interacting. Looks like the adults coming to try to feed the chicks. And then they fly off and the chicks do this funny little bobbing greeting ritual. So yeah, I mean, summer life is just in full swing at Londolozi. It's magic.
Close to 40 to 50% of lion cubs succumb to those kinds of adversities out here. Well, I'm impressed. That was very athletic. give you all an idea. I'm going to zoom completely back. Look at those folks in the mirror. You see there's some happy guests smiling back. Michelle, thank you. And Tracy there at the very far back. Hey guys, happy days. The guests visiting Rockvik has been very lucky with sightings. Those guys at the back did manage to see the Magnificent Seven during their 6-night stay. Well folks, the day is coming.